Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions Pro line. We have showcased and highlighted the one and done compound. And I do want to remind you, because it has the graphene lattice on the label, this does not mean it has protection within the formula. There is no protection. This is a straight up professional grade correction fluid. We have also highlighted the To The Max wax. This is a graphene-infused liquid wax. Today we will highlight and showcase the Flex Wax, and rightly named Flex Wax because of its flexibility when it comes to application. It's user-friendly. I will show you all the ways to utilize the product, and we'll also put it up against Seal and Shine, which has been the benchmark when it comes to durability here on the channel. So let's get right into the video. Turtle Wax Hybrid Solutions Pro Graphene-Infused Flex Wax is a graphene-infused spray wax that can be applied to dry paint, wet paint, can be sprayed on, rinsed off. Let me show you all the ways you can utilize it. After a fresh wash and your car is still wet from top to bottom, mist it onto each panel and use a drying towel and just buff to perfection. Yet another way to utilize the formula, and these are what I would consider ways to use the formula as a maintenance product, and that is just to spray onto a wet panel and rinse off. Using a pressure washer will have enough pressure to disperse the product evenly. I like to follow up with a drying towel and make sure that it has even coverage and there's no high spots or streaking. Okay, if this is the first time you're using Flex and you're going to put down a foundation layer or a base layer, apply it to a dry panel. Just mist a little bit onto a microfiber applicator or foam and spread it out evenly. Don't use too much of the product, and that is easy to do because this goes a long way. Just mist it onto the applicator and spread it out. You'll know if you're using too much of it if you see streaking, smearing, hazing, or high spots. If you have used too much of the product, no worries, this is a very forgiving product. Get a damp microfiber, run it under a tap, wring it out so it's not dripping wet, and just go over the area. It'll get rid of any streaking or high spots. It's really all there is to it. Just repeat that process all the way around the vehicle. You can use it on all hard surfaces, including plastic trim and wheels, glass, headlights, taillights, and you will be astonished with the gloss and the slickness and the reflection. Okay, time to just cut to the chase. Let's put it against the benchmark when it comes to durability here on this channel, and that's Seal and Shine from Turtle Wax as well. We'll get them both on the same panel. And to apply either of them, you want to at least wash your car, clay, decontaminate it, iron remover, polish, even if you have to do it by hand. And yes, you can use the one and done by hand if you have to as well. So let's get 2 layers applied to each test section, and we'll let it cure. Now, Flex does not need any cure time at all. However, just a quick tip I found, after letting it go indoors, sheltered, in a warm temperature, a nice warm garage, overnight, 24, 48 hours, the longer you leave it set sheltered, you're going to get even more out of the product than just a hit and go with it. In other words, apply and just go on with your day, which you can with the product. That's why it's so flexible.
That was actually the thing. Why the hell were they asking all the information that she wanted on file?
And it happened to be about 48 hours plus until I got back to the test panel so I could test both of these products, run them through the mill, and both were glossier and slicker. And the Flex Wax is just a little bit more slipperier or slicker, a little less tension on the surface. So when it comes to gloss? Well, let's put some numbers behind what we're seeing, and the edge goes to Flex Wax. Time to drag the panel outdoors in direct sunlight, and that's where I like to remove the masking tape and look for the jetting effect, and that is which area makes the panel look darker and richer and brings out its color. A slight edge here will go to Seal and Shine. Okay, in the next segment, you'll see that they both are beaders. They bead water. They both repel water effectively. And I take notice the beading in the Seal and Shine area is just a little bit tighter, but they both do a decent job. All right, let's move on to the next segment where we can do the 10 wash test. We'll test durability and chemical resistance. In the wash bucket, I have 1 ounce of CarPro Reset and 1 ounce of Adams Strip Wash. And we'll do 10 washes. And I can tell you, and most of you that follow the channel have seen, some of the sealants have failed just in this test alone. Let's see how they fare. And as I mention in every video that I do this testing, there is no substitution for what Mother Nature can dish up to a car over a period of time. But this here gives me a lot of useful information. As expected, they both breeze through the 10 wash test, and they are not affected whatsoever. When it comes to drying a vehicle, I like to use the leaf blower most of the time, and I can tell you the Flex side is a little bit easier and quicker to dry than the Seal and Shine side. Okay, moving right along in this segment here, we're going to do the traffic film test, and that's where I have everything that can and will leak from an automobile in one container. I'm having trouble getting it out of the container because it's eating away the nozzle and the tube that feeds the nozzle, but I'll have to replace that soon. So I'll let that dwell on the surface in direct sunlight for about 3 minutes or so in between each round, and I'll rinse it and I'll hit it then with an alkaline cleaner that is a little bit higher on the pH scale. So during this testing, the formulas get hit by chemicals all the way up and down the pH scale. Traffic film had no effect after the first round, so let's do a few rounds with this method. If we have to, we'll step up aggression a little bit more. All right, well, it looks like I'm going to be here all day with just this type of testing. So let's step it up yet again. This is my sealant killer. Keep in mind, this is after a 10 wash test, after a few rounds of traffic film, and now we're using Citral 266. And those of you that follow the channel, you know what it does to sealants. Let's spray it on here, and I want to grab you guys and take you around. Hopefully, with the sun, you can capture this. It's actually still beating Citral 266. They're still okay, so I'm going to keep going until both areas just have to flood the water off and there's no beading whatsoever. That doesn't mean the protection's gone completely. It's just whatever they added to the formula to make it bead has broken down a bit. Well, now finally, after all that, be able to see the sealants break down a bit and start to sheet water. And you'll see one side will sheet it completely off while the other side just gives up. I have my exercise for today, but that's completely insane just how durable these products are. And when you have the Flex Wax as durable as Sealant Shine, and you can use it in more ways, I'll let you come up with a conclusion. That will bring us to the final thought segment of this video. And before we get into it, 2 quick tips on the Flex Wax. You're going to know you're using too much of the product if you see hazing, streaking, or high spots. Just mist it onto a panel, 1 mist, and you'll be surprised as to how far it goes. You're really going to get your money's worth out of the bottle. If you did apply too much to a single panel, grab a microfiber, run it under a warm tap, wring it out, and that damp microfiber will straighten out the problem. Just cut back on the product. Second tip, Flex Wax has no cure time, so you can protect and treat your vehicle and go on with your day. No problems. However, I found out if you let it sit protected in a nice warm area and let it cure overnight, 24 hours, 48 hours, the more it gets to cure, the more the gloss, the more the durability and the slickness really shine through. That's just a quick tip. Now, using these products, you can use them as a team on your car, all of them, and you would start with using the One and Done to correct the surface and perfect it. You can use the To The Max Wax as a foundation layer of hardcore protection and then maintain with the Flex Wax. If you have any questions on either of those, don't hesitate, put it down in the comment section. I'll get back to you. Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.